Okay, this is a review of the Bear Grylls survival knife, I guess is what it is. The knife itself I like. That's about it. We'll start off with the sheath. Now, this is actually the second one I've had. The first one I had to return within a very short time, and the reason being that this lock piece actually broke right off. And the knife cannot be carried just by the strap here. It'll fall out if you try and do that. But as you can see, I know my camera's not great here, but as you can see, it's coming apart again. This time it's actually splitting at the seams. There's a couple of little, maybe 2 or 3 millimeter screws just right. Can I see that? There you can see it. Little stubby thing on the right hand side of the crack. So those are supposedly going to retain this thing, or keep it together. Doesn't work very well. So they've got to redesign this. I don't like it at all. This is neat, but it could be done another way. I also had to add Velcro. The Velcro that it has was insufficient and basically came loose. I hang upside down. I carry this as such off my belt so that the knife is hanging down, and this would actually let go after a fairly short period. The sharpening piece is kind of cool. I would only use it in an emergency because of these screw recesses. You could really do some damage to your blade if you're actually grinding metal off and hit that. Another thing too is it gets loose, so they need to use some Loctite on there. I don't know if you can see this or hear it maybe. Once again, I had to add Velcro to the strap here. This is the second one I've had, like I said. When I got it, the Velcro was actually ripped out of the box. So I've gone and put some new Velcro on and did a little bit better job of stitching it together. I like this, but as you can see, once again, it could be put together better. You could put a clear coat on here as well so it doesn't wear out so quick. And also I would like to see in the future, if they ever were to redesign this belt loop, there should be another one here. Because otherwise I've basically got to hang it from my belt like this. So I'm sure that's not the way it was designed to be. And if it had a second belt loop here, that would be much better. Okay, so on to the actual knife. The blade, I think the tang goes to about here. I could be wrong. It could be shorter, it could be longer. But in any case, the blade itself is good. I like it a lot. It's a good solid blade. The edge on it isn't great, but I guess, you know, I'm not the best at sharpening. So that could be my fault. And this is my EDC, everyday carry. I've been carrying this one day in and out for 6 months. Sometimes I don't even take it off when I go to bed, actually, if I'm too tired. And I think that's in part where this comes from. Now, I don't think that many people who are using this to survive with are going to neatly take it off and hang it up either. So they should consider just filing this down. I'm probably going to wind up doing that. Just basically file this down so it's not so obtrusive. And then maybe that'll kind of help for when I'm actually sleeping on it. However, the blade is not the only part of a knife. So, how well can we see this? I don't know if this is actually going to come out. I'll put the camera down and see if I can show you here. Can you see that? See how loose that is? The reason this is so loose is because right here, I don't know if you can see it, there we go. Maybe not. But anyway, there's a massive crack in the handle right there. You might be able to see it. The reason that crack has occurred is because I wrote to the Facebook page for Gerber, and they told me, I was asking about whether or not the pommel could have possibly been one of the defective ones, and they told me probably not, based on the date that I had bought it on. So they told me I should probably try it before I go in the field. Well, I did, and this is what happened. So I wonder if I could actually break that right out of there. I don't really want to, though, because I don't have another everyday carry right now. This was actually only supposed to be a temporary replacement. So basically the handle is not very well made. It doesn't stand up to the temperatures and you know, the abuse that it's kind of implied to be made for. But the blade is good. The actual blade, the thickness is great. You're not going to break this, or you'd be very hard pressed to break it. You don't find very many knives of this kind of thickness, of this kind of a gauge metal. As you can see, the coating wears off fairly quickly, which is fine by me. I don't really mind that too much. I don't know if that logo bit there is going to stay on once the coating's worn off. We'll see what happens. It is, however, not very sharp. Even the serrations are not very sharp. The handle itself may look ergonomic, and I was just using it for about 30 minutes doing some lawn care. And as you can see, I've got a massive blister here, and another blister there, and I might have another one somewhere else, but that's not really what I would consider to be ergonomic. Alright, all I was doing, and I'll give you a demonstration. Here we have our favorite plant, the dandelion. So in like this, oh, that hurts, and then twist up and out. So that's all I was doing for about 20 minutes, and that's how I got that. Now, I actually tow for a living, and I handle chains and wire ropes all the time. So it's unlikely that the cause is that I've got weak skin. But just in case, I figured, just for fun. Now, keep in mind this knife is not sharp. Where are we? Yeah, so my skin's really not too weak, okay? As you can see, I pretty much push this shit in as far as I want. It's not going to cut anything. I can draw it across my hand. My skin's not weak at all. But the way that this blade is designed, or I should say this handle is designed, you see there? You see that rubbing section? So I'm going to have to actually go ahead and probably cut these ridges off just right here. You know, that's okay, I guess. They might want to include that in some of their instructions or some of their suggestions on their page or who knows what, that, you know, this is made to be carried left or right. And as a result, you're always going to have some people who don't like it as much as others because it's kind of a, you know, one size fits all. Okay, so all the bad stuff aside, I do like this knife. It's a good solid knife. It has a nice weight to it. It's got, you know, a couple of decent little lanyard holes here, and it's actually fairly strong, you know, aside from the extras. So I don't know how well we can see this. Now, I don't really like batoning wood, but what I do, let's see if I can do this with my hand like that. So I'll grab it a little bit further down the handle, and then I'll go like that. So if I can get it right. Now, I don't build what they call white man's fires. I build very small fires, just enough heat just to cook. There we go. So as you can see, it can take this kind of abuse, no problem. Wood's quite wet though, so there we go. So that's pretty strong. You know, I'm happy with that. Batoning, oh, I just broke a nail. Look at that. Batoning in the true sense would be going like this, which I don't like, and I would never do it anyway. But like this, as long as you get your aim right, you can actually put that straight through. See? No problems. Not worried about breakage of any kind or bending the blade or anything like that. See? Just little pieces like that's all you really need for a campfire anyway. So that's fine. But they really need to improve the handle, the grip, and the sheath. So if this is something you're going to use for a short trek, then fine. But if you're actually going to use this for an everyday carry, you might want to think about it. It's not really made for everyday carry. It's truly made as a survival knife. Anyway, I'm running out of tape. Decent knife, but it could be much improved. And I'm not going to return this one.